Introduction.
This past week was grueling since we, like a lot of the other groups, put off getting ready for Project 2, and we had to play catch up. Really, everything we did this past week was intended for Project 2, as well as getting ready for the interviews coming up with David. It's been an intense yet productive week. I think this Physics 111 course has helped me to see not only the world around me in a new way, but the way I face my education. There were a lot of things I did, learned, and questioned this past week that made me see things differently.
What I did.
Through the things I did this past week, I was able to change views I had had. This past Tuesday, I graphed the position versus time, acceleration versus time, and the motion diagram, only having been given the velocity versus time graph. Outside of class that day, I finished up our launcher with the group's help. Thursday, I found the spring constant for our launcher with the help of the group. Outside of class over the weekend, I worked on the flight phase of the launch for the TIM.
What I learned.
The things I learned this week helped me see things in a new light as well. I learned in Tuesday's class that each element of the energy bar chart has a specific equation to determine its value. Outside of class that day, I learned that the design for our launcher was very effective compared to our previous launcher design. From Thursday's class, I learned all the elements that needed to be included in the flight portion of our TIM. After class that day, I learned that range equation worked for specific data.
What I want or need to know.
Questioning things in and outside of class also pointed my nose to new epiphanies. Tuesday's class left me wondering how we would attach weights to our launcher to compute the spring constant. Outside of class that day, I questioned how I could be sure that I included everything we need in our TIM. In class on Thursday, I queried how I could organize the section of the TIM I was doing in a sensible manner. Outside of class over the weekend, I threw around in my head how to integrate projectile motion into VPython.
Conclusion.
Although this past week was tough and grueling, the things I did, learned, and questioned helped me to see things in physics and education in a new light. I really saw how my own personal attitude, determination, and stick-to-itiveness affected my work and learning on a personal level. I also saw how learning is based on trial and error, desire, and humility. Seeing how serious and intelligent questions helped learn was also a good thing. Overall, this class is tough with a lot of things to do, but I like the challenge.